Smael, whenever you guys turn on the film and look at Ohio State's offense for the first time as a middle backer, what was the first thing you personally were looking at, and just what have your overall impressions of that offense been since that time?
Some of the things, or some of the first things we seen was just athletic quarterback. Got a great arm, and then just good receivers all around. Big old line, physical.
Zion was just saying that CJ kind of reminds me a little bit of Hendon Hooker. I mean, what would you agree with that, number one? And if so, kind of what ways would he remind you of Hendon?
I don't necessarily know if I would say Hendon Hooker. I'm not. Why do you think he said that? Why did he say Hendon Hooker?
Just that's what he said.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. They're both good quarterbacks. Stretch the field down vertically, I guess. Yeah.
Everybody's got
Get back here
opinions,
and
right?
take his answer then.
Yeah, get Zion back in here.
Oh, no, I personally, I don't know. I was just wondering like what he seen to say that. But yeah, they're both good quarterbacks though. Can stretch the field vertically.
Smael, what has the last, I guess, 2 or 3 weeks since SEC championship game been like, just as far as what you guys been able to do getting ready for New Year's Eve?
Now that class is over, we got like some more time on our hands, so more time recovering, and then just getting back to it, working on the basics, trying to get better.
How is, I guess, the attitude of this team different? Last year, y'all coming off loss. This year, you're undefeated, coming off SEC title. How do you kind of compare the energy around the building from last year?
Well, last year after the SC championship, it was like more of like not more of, but last year they came in with a chip on their shoulder because of the loss from the SC championship. But this year, I feel like we came in with that same intensity. We're not coming off a loss like last year, but we still got that same fire and intensity that we bring to practice.
You guys, obviously, you gave up 502. Not you personally. The team gave up 502 yards passing to LSU. Was there any way to explain that away from the standpoint of, you guys were up big or whatever? How did that land on you, and does that a lot of that have to get fixed for this game?
You could say that last part again.
How are y'all approaching what happened in the LSU game from a passing loud standpoint?
They just showed some of the things we got to work on. So we've been attacking that in practice and then working to get better. This guys, DB, staying after practice. Other guys staying after practice, trying to get more work. So just trying to get better and fix whatever issues we got.
I guess what I'm trying to get at was any of that. You guys were up and in control of the game. Did you guys relax a little bit, maybe in the LSU game, or was that just them making plays?
I'm not necessarily sure. I don't really got a concrete answer on that. I don't want to just like throw anything out there.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You guys have a number of guys who have already come in this week from this recruiting class. What have you seen as those guys are trying to get adjusted and understand for the expectations?
Just guys trying to get adjusted. I can see the talent in all of them. That's why they're here. I can see just hardworking guys trying to just do the right thing, get adjusted to it, meeting new people, new faces. So they're still trying to get adjusted. But I see a lot of hardworking guys.
How important have these, sets of bowl practices been for this team, especially for the guys that, aren't playing with the ones, or repping with the ones during the course of the season, but these are more, spring practice, fall camp type practices where you're able to rep more and get more extra work in?
It's been real important. It helps with just development and then helping on working on some of the things that, some of the weaknesses a player might have. You got more time on your hands, more reps. So just being able to work on those like small little things to try to get better.
With those younger guys who have showed up, a couple guys at your position with Raylan and CJ, have you had any interactions with them since they got on?
Yeah. I like them.
Any early impressions on what you got to see from those guys?
Just hardworking guys, hardworking, athletic.
How valuable do you think it is for all those guys that have come in to kind of get a head start, getting ready for the rest of their?
I think it's real valuable. It puts them like a step ahead of the curve versus the other guys who didn't come in as early.
What's your personal perspective on Ohio State? Was that a team that recruited you, and just kind of what comes to mind when you think about that team, that program?
Yeah, they did. They recruited me. What comes to mind? This year they just got an explosive offense and a lot of good receivers, a good quarterback, good running back. So, just yeah.
Did you visit there?
Nah, I didn't get a chance to visit.
when you said they were, how far along did it get in the conversation? Like, what is the Ohio State pitch? I guess. I mean, obviously it's a Big Ten school. What do they tell recruits, or how far did you get in all these things?
It kind of like they were recruiting me when I was my senior year. It was kind of like during COVID, so like we couldn't recruitment had shut down. But it was kind of it's cold up there. Me personally, I am not really like I don't know. But yeah, recruitment had shut down, so I didn't really get a chance to go like anywhere that far. So I was kind of just local places, not local, but like just places in the South.
Is it for you guys? And I know you play a great schedule in the SEC, but is there something to playing Ohio State? I mean, they're kind of regarded by many as kind of the kingpin of that league. Is that how you guys look at it? Just kind of fun playing a different team that's that highly regarded?
I mean, it's gonna be a good matchup, but as far as looking at them as a kingpin, it's just a game on it's a playoff game. You know, we're not necessarily looking at it somebody like, oh, they're the kingpin. It's just a playoff game. We all know what's at stake with this game, and we just have to play accordingly.
Just generally, when you play an offense, like you said, they're so explosive. What are the keys for this defense to be able to contain them as much as you can?
Keys. I don't know. I don't really want to like get like too far into it, like as far as like a game plan necessarily, but just sticking to the game plan we got. Just gotta stick to the game plan we got.
Do they kind of get your attention as a defense kind of the same way Tennessee does? Like, not that the Georgia defense needs to make any statements, it seems to anybody, but this is another, like you said, it's explosive offense, and everybody knows what they've done, not just this year, but in past years.
Could you repeat the question again? My bad.
Is this? I mean, it's weird to say like a Georgia defense needs to make a statement because you know you all have, but this is much like Tennessee and other offenses, just explosive. Just kind of speaks for itself what they do. What kind of challenge does that present for y'all?
I mean, it presents a lot of challenges, but I feel like we got the guys and the coaches to just attack the challenges head on.
Overall, what have you seen in the growth of Glenn Schumann? Obviously, he was just an inside backers coach last year, and now he's full DC. What growth have you seen from him in terms of like stepping up his leadership and taking more?
I've seen a lot of growth out of Coach Schumann. It's kind of like weird saying it from a player, like seeing growth out of a coach, but yeah, I did, like me personally, I have seen like some growth from like his just like how he like carries the meetings and stuff like that, like his personality, how he but how he like kind of just adjust from just a position coach to now a coordinator. But yeah, I've seen a lot of growth. He's been doing a real good job.
When you look at the fact that you and Javon now have had so many games to play together, how much growth do you feel like there's been between you guys, just understanding what the other guy's going to do and being on the same page out there on the field?
Yeah, I feel like there's been a lot of growth, not just with me and Jamon, but with me and Ryan, and then Jamon and Ryan, and then Trez and Jamon, and then Jamon and Trez. It's just all of us in the room. I feel like we all grown like a lot together throughout the whole season.
How important is that at your position to have that kind of understanding of each other?
It's real important because Coach Schumann likes to say like the linebackers are the heart of the defense since we're like in the middle. So like I feel like if we're working good together, it's going to reflect and rub off on the other position groups across the field.
What are some of the biggest things that you learned from like Kobe and Channing and those guys from last year preparing for this kind of game, and now you guys are the ones preparing? What are some of the biggest takeaways that you learned from them last year?
Biggest takeaways, probably just how to manage your time, because we had a lot of time on our hands now that we didn't have during the season. So just managing your time the right way, getting treatment, film, got a lot of time to watch extra film, meet with coaches, taking care of your body, a lot of things like that.
I realize you're not in the huddle with Stetson, but he seems to come up big in postseason games. What do you see from your vantage point about Stetson as a leader, and particularly this time of the year?
From the reps we get against the offense, I see he's just a competitive guy, wants to win every rep. So I feel like he takes that approach with a lot of the things he does, competitive, wants to win, and then I feel like he puts that work in.
What did you make of Todd McShay's comments about Jalen Carter last week and having character issues, in McShay's words?
I mean, I never had no type of, I don't think a lot of people have any type of problem with JC. Everybody loves him in the locker room. So I was kind of confused where that came from, me personally, but I don't know. I don't see no character issues. JC is one of my close friends on the team.
How did he kind of take those comments? How did Jalen kind of take them?
He didn't really take them bad. Like, I know a lot of guys would have been mad, but Jalen was just like, he was just kind of just chill about it. Like I feel like he knows his character speaks for itself. So, like JC, he's not a guy with character issues. He's a good guy.
You hadn't heard him like grumbling about it or nothing like that, or
Nah, nothing about that. He's just been the same dude every day.
You bump heads with Georgia's offensive line every day. How did it land on them? They didn't win the Joe Moore again. I guess they were finalists with Michigan, got beat out by them again. Has that been talk in the locker room or?
Not necessarily, or not that I've heard of talking in the locker room, but the way they've been working, it's like I don't know. They've still been working just as hard, been pushing each other. So I don't really think it's affected them any. Maybe it's motivating them more, but I don't think it's negatively affected them any.
Got time for two more.
What's playing alongside Ryan Davis? I know his nickname's Trouble, but how's he in the huddle and in the locker room?
In the locker room, Trouble funny. He was one of the first guys I talked to that was on the team when I first got here. That wasn't like somebody coming in with me. So he was one of the first guys I got to meet, and then he helped me get like comfortable with a lot of the other teammates. So Trouble, I look at him as like a big brother. I always mess around with him, but he's real encouraging. Like before my first start at Oregon, he was just one of the main ones. Even though he's a guy in the same position as me, but not taking as many reps, he was still just as encouraging. He helped build my confidence up a lot. So I really thank Trouble for that. And that really just I feel like that shows our relationship.
You guys obviously won it all last year. How much of a motivation when you get to this point is it to get back?
For us, it's not necessarily getting back because a lot of the guys that played in that national championship team last year are playing now. So it's a lot of new faces out there. So I feel like we're just as hungry as the last group of guys were to get back there. So it's not I forgot the word for it, but we're not like complacent necessarily because it wasn't us that did it last year. It's a lot of new faces.
All right, Smael, thank you.
Thank you.